نحمد ونصلي على رسوله الكريم أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي ربي يسر ولا تعسر وتمم بالخير وبك نستعين يا فتاح بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Ask the children of Israel, how many a clear sign we have given to them, and whoever changes the blessing of Allah after it has come to him, then Allah is severe in punishment. Adorned is the present life for those who disbelieve, and they laugh at those who believe, while those who fear Allah shall be above them on the day of resurrection. Allah gives provision to whom He wills without measure. All men used to be a single ummah, that is, on a single faith. Then, after they differed in matters of faith, Allah sent prophets carrying good news and warning, and sent down with them the book with truth to judge between people in matters of their dispute. But it was no other than those to whom the book was given, who led by envy against each other, disputed it after the clear signs had come to them. Then Allah, by His will, guided those who believed to the truth over which they disputed, and Allah guides whom He wills to the straight path. Do you think that you will enter paradise while you have not yet been visited by difficult circumstances, like those that were faced by the people who passed away before you? They were afflicted by hardship and suffering, and were so shaken down that the Prophet and those who believed with him started saying, "When will come the help of Allah?" Then they were comforted by the Prophet, who said to them, "Behold, the help of Allah is near." They ask you as to what they should spend. Say, whatever good you spend should be for parents, kinsmen, orphans, the needy, and the wayfarer. And whatever good you do, Allah is all aware of it. Fighting is enjoined upon you while it is hard on you. It could be that you dislike something when it is good for you, and it could be that you like something when it is bad for you. Allah knows and you do not know. They ask you about the sacred month, that is, about fighting in it. Say, fighting in it is something grave, but it is much more grave in the sight of Allah to prevent people from the path of Allah, to disbelieve in Him and in Al-Masjid al-Haram, and to expel its people from there. And fitna, to create disorder, is more grave than killing. They will go on fighting you until they turn you away from your faith, if they could. While whoever of you turns away from his faith and dies an infidel, such people are those whose deeds will go to waste in this world and in the hereafter. And they are people of the fire. They shall be there forever. As for those who believed and those who migrated and carried out jihad in the way of Allah, they hope for Allah's mercy, and Allah is forgiving, very merciful. They ask you about wine and gambling. Say, in both there is great sin and some benefits of people, and their sin is greater than their benefit. And if they ask you as to what they should spend, say, the surplus. This is how Allah makes His verses clear to you, so that you may ponder on this world and the hereafter. They ask you about the orphans. Say, to work for their good is good, and if you live with them jointly, they are after all your brethren. And Allah knows the one who makes mischief as distinct from the one who promotes good. And if Allah had wished, He would have put you in trouble. Surely Allah is mighty, wise. Do not marry the polytheist women unless they come to believe in Islam. A Muslim slave girl is better than a polytheist woman, even though she may attract you. And do not give your women in marriage to polytheist men unless they come to believe A Muslim slave is better than a polytheist, even though he may attract you. They invite you to the fire when Allah invites by His will to paradise and to forgiveness. He makes His verses clear to the people so that they may heed the advice. They ask you about menstruation. Say, it is an impurity. So keep away from women during menstruation and do not have intimacy with them until they are cleansed. But when they are cleansed, then go to them from where Allah has commanded you. Surely Allah loves those who are most repenting and loves those who keep themselves pure. Your women are tillage for you to cultivate. So come to your tillage from where you wish and advance something for yourselves and fear Allah and know that you are to meet Him and give good news to the believers. Do not make the name of Allah the subject of your oaths against your doing good, fearing Allah and setting things right between people. Allah is all-hearing, all-knowing. Allah does not hold you accountable for what is bil-laghwi, ineffectual in your oaths, but He holds you accountable for what your hearts have produced. Allah is forgiving, forbearing. Those who swear to abstain from their wives have 4 months of waiting. Therefore, if they revert back, Allah is most forgiving, very merciful. And if they resolve to divorce, Allah is all-hearing, all-knowing. Divorced women shall keep themselves waiting for 3 periods, and it is not permissible for them to conceal what Allah has created in their wombs, if they believe in Allah and in the last day. Their husbands are best entitled to take them back in the meantime if they want a settlement. Women have rights similar to what they owe in recognized manner, though for men there is a step above them. Allah is mighty, wise. Divorce is twice, then either to retain in all fairness or to release nicely. It is not lawful for you to take back anything from what you have given them, unless both apprehend that they would not be able to maintain the limits set by Allah. Now, if you apprehend that they would not maintain the limits set by Allah, then there is no sin on them in what she gives up to secure her release. These are the limits set by Allah. Therefore, do not exceed them. Whosoever exceeds the limits set by Allah, then those are the transgressors. Thereafter, if he divorces her, she shall no longer remain lawful for him unless she marries a man other than him. Should he too divorce her, then there is no sin on them in their returning to each other, if they think they would maintain the limits set by Allah. These are the limits set by Allah that He makes clear to a people who know that Allah is alone capable of setting these limits. When you have divorced women and they have approached the end of their waiting period, then either retain them with fairness or release them with fairness. Do not retain them with wrongful intent, resulting in cruelty on your part. And whoever does this actually wrongs himself. Do not take the verses of Allah in jest, and remember the grace of Allah on you and what He has revealed to you of the book and the wisdom, giving you good counsel thereby, and fear Allah, and be sure that Allah is the one who knows everything.
بارك الله لي ولكم في القرآن العظيم. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم. آمين.